Here's what I will say about this thing, which I don't know much about. They're now unearthing weird things about the finances of TPUSA. Charlie Kirk, who I believe was someone who they could not compromise because he was not a drug addict or secretly gay, he didn't have a gambling problem or whatever, which, by the way, a lot of people in politics do. They can be compromised because they're living some type of double life, and I don't believe that was the case with him. I believe there were people around him that was the case, and those people were probably either compromised to a degree. And again, none of this suggests that they killed him. But there's a weird picture emerging with that organization where there are people that Charlie had ordered an internal audit of TPUSA going, hey, where's a lot of this money coming from? Where's it going? Like, what's happening? And I think what started to happen was, I'm just going off of nothing here. And I want to preface what I say. So when it's reported by like MSNBC or something to fill their airwaves, I want to preface that I'm just kind of going over that. I think it is very possible that Charlie Kirk, if it wasn't the lover of the furry, Tyler Robinson, right? Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
If it wasn't him, I think it's very possible that Charlie Kirk discovered something before he died, and not a lot of people knew about it. And it was something damning, and it was something that threatened the existence not only of that organization, but of the kind of political infrastructure that supported that organization. Meaning some of the very big donors, perhaps, or maybe something in the administration or some weird connection. I don't know. But it is possible when I read his texts from a few days before that event, and he's talking about they're going to kill me, and now obviously texts are weird because you don't have context, right? But when he's talking about they're going to kill me, they're attacking me, he sounded like a guy who was trying to say something. And if you read between the lines, that interview he did with Megyn Kelly, where he was going, I'm being accused of this. They're saying I'm being attacked. I felt like there was something he wasn't saying. Again, this is all literally based. This is off a hunch. This is just a thought experiment. It's an exercise. That organization seems like it was being used by certain people in ways that Charlie didn't know about. And he may or may not have stumbled upon something that was damning enough that someone decided that he had to go. Now, I do not know what that could have been, or if he found something out. It may not have been that. It may have been a deranged individual with a gun. There's a lot of those people in America. I don't know. But the only reason I say this, I look at the texts, I see some of his interviews. He seemed a little bit, I don't know if I'd use the word frightened. He seemed deeply disturbed by something. Something at the end of his life seemed to be deeply troubling him and deeply disturbing him. I never met him. I know people that knew him. I don't know anyone that knew him in his final days. All I'm judging is the texts that are out, the interviews that he did. It's not like I'm talking to people that knew him and have confided in me and said, no, you're right. Candace knows people. She knows all those people. I don't really know those people. That's not really my beat. I don't know those people. It seems like something was deeply he felt unsettled at the end of his life. Was it only because he was losing donors? I don't know. He ran an organization that dealt with donors being happy or unhappy a lot. He knew how to deal with donors leaving, or this probably wasn't new for him. There's no way. This is the way those super PACs, political organizations work. People are always threatening to pull their money. It seems like that alone was not. Yeah, Charlie. Anyway, I'm not sure if I will live to see the end of this revolution. I believe you're the peace God meant to meet that will finish the fight. This is from the text from Candace, right? Mm-hmm. Since the beginning of TPUSA, I knew in my gut that I might get wiped dead at any time. I cannot explain it, but I dream about it all the time, like all the time. Anyway, that's a present convo for another time. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, there's other texts, there's other things. He's doing some of these interviews. So I don't know. My suspicion, if I was looking at this from, again, from 30,000 feet, which I kind of am, I would say that there's a very good chance that he ordered that audit because he smelled a rat. He thought something was going on and something was wrong. And that he didn't quite know what was real and what wasn't, and who his friends were and who weren't his friends. Because he's using a lot of they and they and the people out there. And I think that doesn't only mean, by the way, billionaire donors. It might mean that he was unsure of certain people in his circle. He was probably he's ordering this audit. He's does anything I'm saying sound crazy? No. I'm because I feel like at the end of his life, he was on to something. And I don't know what that was. He thought he was. That's why he ordered, I think, an audit. A lot of these political people, I spoke to a very big person today who used to be in politics on the Democrat side and knows the very top tier Democrat families in Chicago and is a very smart person. And these mega rich families all operate the same way. And it's usually like they put their people in power, and those people to some degree are like compromised in some way. And then the people that aren't compromised, they try to compromise or they get rid of. And these are the people that these, mega powerful dynasties, they're arranging all of this so that they have people to go out do their bidding without questioning it. And I was talking to her, and she said it seems very likely that lots of people in that organization had to be compromised. And there was dirt on them, and the people knew things about them, and that was why they had to, without any question, keep performing the tasks and, keep pushing the narrative. So I'm going to watch the town hall. We feel terrible for obviously what happened to Erica Kirk. What she's going through is terrible. And again, I'm looking at it from the outside. Something smells off to me about it. That doesn't mean there's something off, but there's something that feels to me very often. It's very possible that he figured something out at the end, and it terrified him because he went, "Whoa, what the fuck is happening?" I think it was a ground. If it was something that he figured out, I think it moved the ground under his feet a little bit. I think he was like, this is a little crazy, and I don't really know what I'm a part of here. And that's why he ordered the audit, and he said, I got to get out of this. Now, he probably confided that in only a few people. This is what I would think. When something like that happens, he might have told a few close friends, his wife, something like that. I don't know. He might have told no one. but it does feel like at the end of his life, he was deeply unsettled. He felt something like this happening.